In a small town, there lived a young woman named Amara. She was kind, humble, and full of dreams. But life was not fair to her. Her mother had died when she was young, and her stepmother, Madame Grace, treated her like a servant. One evening, Madame Grace called her into the sitting room. "Amara," she said sharply, "you are of age. A man has asked for your hand. You will marry him." Amara's heart raced. "But who is he?" Madame Grace smiled coldly. "He is a cripple. He walks with a cane. People say he is poor. But a man is a man. You should be grateful." Amara's eyes filled with tears. "Stepmother, please. I want to marry for love, not pity." Silence. Madame Grace barked. "Love does not feed the stomach. You will marry him. That is final." And so, the wedding day came. Villagers whispered as Amara, dressed in her simple gown, walked beside the stranger, Chike, a tall man leaning on a cane. His eyes were kind, but his silence was heavy. Amara felt betrayed. Yet, she whispered a prayer. "God, give me strength." When she moved into Chike's home, she expected misery. But his house was neat, peaceful, and filled with books. He treated her gently, always asking, "Amara, are you comfortable? Do you need rest?" Days turned into weeks. Her heart began to soften. But one question never left her: who truly is this man? One afternoon, she followed him secretly. Instead of going to the market, Chike stepped into a shining black car. Amara hid as the car drove into the city. Her eyes widened when she saw him step out, without the cane, walking tall and strong. He entered a grand building where men bowed before him. He was no cripple. He was no poor man. He was Chief Chike, a billionaire businessman. That night, when he returned, Amara faced him. "Why did you deceive me? Why pretend to be poor?" Chike looked at her softly. "Amara, wealth blinds many. I wanted a wife who would not marry me for my riches. Your stepmother forced you, yes, but I saw your dignity, your kindness. That is the wife I prayed for." Tears rolled down Amara's cheeks. "But you let me suffer in shame." Chike knelt before her. "Forgive me, Amara. I only wanted to test your heart. From today, I will give you the life you deserve." The next morning, Chike arrived at Madame Grace's house in his luxury car with guards behind him. Villagers gathered, shocked. Madame Grace gasped. You are rich." Chike stood tall. "Yes. And you forced Amara into this marriage out of cruelty. From today, she will live as my honored wife. And you will answer to God for the wickedness you showed her." The crowd murmured. Madame Grace lowered her head in shame. Amara stepped out of the car, smiling for the first time in years. She was no longer the poor stepdaughter, no longer a girl forced into pity. She was loved. She was chosen. And beside the man who once walked with a cane, Amara began a new chapter, not built on lies, but on truth, respect, and love.